Okay. Hello, everyone. I think everyone would be Stephen. Oh no, Stephen is gone. Um, Viewpoint says, "Hey, sir, how are you? Well, thank you very much, dear. And please let me know a little bit about you, like age, gender, where you're tuning in from, which city. So that gives me a little bit about where you are, your gender, and how old you are." I just had to reconnect. I had a little technical difficulty, so I had to restart the live stream. Mm, great tea. So I think Stephen was here as well. I was just about to respond to him. Says, I'm a boy from India, 22 years old. Okay, thank you very much. I appreciate that. Welcome. Welcome to the live stream at Christmas night. Again, Merry Christmas to everyone, whether you're Christian or not. Merry Christmas, anyhow, because I'm not Christian, but I celebrate Christmas since childhood. And Viewpoints is suffering from HOCD. Well, this is the channel for that. I have, I don't know, probably 700, I'm not sure, 500, 700 videos that have talked about OCD and HOCD and substantive OCD and what's involved. So just go on my search engine of my channel, type in the word HOCD, like the abbreviations, and or OCD, and you will have so many different videos. From the titles, read and see which one is going to answer your immediate question, and then watch those. And then you always have the option to come back to live streams to ask a question. But I'm not able to go through explain to you in general because I've done that in videos, and the videos are so many that I can't cover them all in a live stream. So if you wouldn't mind, look at the titles and see which one seems to be the one that is going to address your question, and watch those. And here we'll just try to limit it to fine-tuning those answers. And Viewpoint says, yes, sir, your videos help me throughout the journey. Okay, of HOCD. Okay, delighted to hear that. Christo Squilin says 3 a.m. here in Norfolk, Virginia. Yeah, you're in the east, and you're 3 hours ahead of us. Well, it must be what, three. Hang on, I was just finishing editing a video, which I think it's an amazingly good video, in my opinion. Of course, I'm unanimous on that, but but this video is going to help you guys to realize about reminiscing after your breakup, which is a big problem for lots of people. And one of the reasons they can't move on, or they have a hard time moving on, is because they're constantly reminiscing. And I've talked about that. It's about 4.5 minutes. It's not long, but I think we hit it on the head. We hit the nail on the head, and it could help you guys out, the ones who have broken up with their girlfriends or with their boyfriends, and they have this challenge. Now, Stephen was here, and I had to restart the live stream, so he's disappeared because I ended that one. So hopefully he can find his way back. All right, excellent. Mhm. So I'll wait for your questions. Okay, I'm just waiting for your questions, guys. If there are no questions, there's no talking. But the questions should be not asking me a general question about what I've already discussed in all the videos, because that's going to take like 100,000 hours to just say whatever I've said in the videos. Just ask me a specific question, having watched the videos, or something to do with your life, or something that I can finish in about 2 or 3 minutes discussion on that. Hmm. Now, please don't you all send me a question at the same time, one at a time, please. What's wrong with you guys? What are you doing here? You think it's a show? Where are your questions? Bring your questions here. So recently, I've been focusing on shorts, and so it looks like it's going to help the channel to expand. My TikTok is now, it's a few weeks I've started that channel. It's about almost 900 followers. The Instagram is also helping. So I load up the shorts on both TikTok and Instagram. And some of the good videos on channel, I actually trim it and edit it, make it shorter, and put it on TikTok, because we can go up to 10 minutes there. On Instagram, the same, 10 minutes. So tonight, I just uploaded one, which will be published tomorrow morning, and you guys can enjoy it. The ones who've had a breakup in the relationship and they had to deal with the challenge of moving on and reminiscing. And so we've discussed that, which is, I think, a very important part of breakup. And so I'm delighted that I could do that tonight and finish editing it. And I just finished, actually, it's ready to be uploaded on TikTok and Instagram, but the YouTube, I've already uploaded it, but it's waiting for tomorrow. So now it looks like that we are on a slow start. We have one person here, and we'll see where it goes. Maybe I give you a little bit of a break to watch something, and then I'll be right back. On by that time, probably more people have shown up. Here's a 5-minute little cartoon.
I love you.
I love you. I am crazy about you.
Yeah, me too.
It's so lovely to be together.
Let's see. Were you guys not able to hear me, all the stuff that I said? Maybe that's why. So anyhow, I wait for your questions. Stephen was here earlier, but I had to restart the live stream. Had some technical difficulties. So I'm going to show you just a 5-minute something about the channel and something about the breakups. And I was saying that I just finished a 5-minute video in regards to reminiscing after breakup and having a challenge to move on, which most people do that, and that's it's a hindrance for them to be able to move on. So we've discussed what is happening in the brain and how you can actually move on. And I have just finished uploaded it on YouTube. It will be published tomorrow morning, scheduled for that. And I finished editing it to make it ready for TikTok and Instagram. I've just started the TikTok a few weeks back for the shorts, and it's already about 900 followers. And we hope that it can help bring more awareness and exposure to the YouTube channel. And Instagram is helping as well, but and also the old videos, I take them, edit them a little bit, and I can upload it to TikTok because we can do up to 10 minutes on TikTok. Instagram the same. So anyhow, right after this, I'll upload it. Until if you guys don't have my TikTok channel address, here it is. Truth Seeking Mind. I believe that's what it is. Let me just double check. Yeah, Truth Seeking Mind. There it is. And my Instagram is Mind Seeks. That's Instagram, and the other one is TikTok. So you can always also watch those and wherever you are. They're short videos, mostly there. So now I'm going to give you guys a little breather so you can watch something and then think about the questions you want to ask. And then when I come back, hopefully we'll have a few questions that would be short enough that I can answer. Otherwise, most of the questions have been covered on the videos, and I wouldn't be able to discuss the whole videos if the question is really a lengthened one. You can get your answer through the videos, 3,000 videos, but if there something that could manageable in a few minutes, I'll just handle it right here. So we have Ravi Kumar. It says, hi, Mehran, 32, male, India. Hello, Ravi. So I'm going to just let you guys watch this for a few minutes until hopefully others show up, and then we'll have some questions that I can talk to you about it, okay? There it is. I hope you enjoyed this little cartoon.
I love you.
I love you. I am crazy about you.
Yeah, me too.
It's so lovely to be together.
Yeah, it sure is nothing better.
You are the best.
You are the best.
Ugh, I can't understand it. How could you have a different mind than I have? How could you not see it the way I see it? I want you to give me more importance. You don't pay attention and entertain me. My life is not as I expected you to make it to be. I can't be with you. You don't make me happy. I don't want you anymore. So what? The guy was just giving me a compliment, and I was not letting him chat me up. It was so innocent.
Hey, why? What did I do? I love you. Everything was fine just yesterday. What gives? What if I chat up other girls just as innocently? You gotta have my head.
We are just so different. Best go on our separate ways. What happened? Why did he leave me? Why was he not understanding me? I feel awful. I will never love again. He didn't try to make me happy. I had to break it off, but I feel so terrible. How can I understand what happened? How can I move on? I miss him. Why am I so conflicted now?
Hey, don't worry, dear. It wasn't meant to be. You will be fine. Just go buy yourself a nice dress and new shoes. You will be fine again. I promise.
Who is that guy? What is he telling them? They all seem to like what they are hearing, as if he has opened their minds about why they feel how they feel.
Oh, he discusses things not so important, like how our mind works and how our thoughts, consciousness, fears, desires, and ego play in relationships and after the breakups. But all you need is to go buy yourself a nice dress and you'll be fine. Oh, he was not understanding you. All you need is a shopping spree in the mall and then take a vacation. It will all be fine.
I got to find out how my mind, thought, and the rest of it works, and why I feel the way I do. I don't want to go shopping. Ah, I see what he means. Ah, I understand. I feel better already. I am ready to feel good again. I am ready to move on, to fix my life and build better relationships, better future. I am feeling pretty confident. I got to talk to him one-on-one.
Damn, I thought she is the one. Everything was all good. She suddenly turned as if I was no longer who I was anymore. Why did she do that? Why do I feel so devastated? How can I feel better? How can I understand what is going on in my head? How can I go on? I will never fall in love again. There are no good girls anymore. They're all after something. I don't even know what the heck they want.
Have some beer. You will feel all better and forget the whole thing. Here, buy some of my brew and forget about your pain. Everything will be okay. You'll find another girl. Go on a trip. Take a vacation.
I gotta find out how my mind, thought, and the rest of it works, and why I feel the way I do. I don't want to brew. Ah, things finally make sense. I now understand why she did what she did, and why I feel so shitty about it all, and why I miss her so much. I now know how to not miss her, and how to move on and build a better me, more confident and more aware of the role of my thoughts, consciousness, desires, fears, and ego in my relationship, and how I feel after a breakup. I got to talk to him or watch his videos on YouTube.
It may all seem like a mystery to you right now, but you can always go to my YouTube channel where you will find over 300 videos on this subject and more. You can find out exactly why you feel the way you do and why your thoughts are the way they're reacting and the role of your psyche in all this. Plus, how to feel good again, become strong and get your confidence back and ready to move on. And more importantly, how to move on. And you will certainly be fine once you know how your mind works, dear. If you still needed to talk to me one-on-one, that's always possible through my site, mindthatseekstruth.com. There you can book a Skype consultation time for us and we can chat about what's concerning you. This is what I do with all people who need it from all around the world. All right. So let's see what we have here. So Ravi, I read all your stuff and says, I don't say anything, but I compare every girl that I go out with my ex, and then after a while I lose interest and I come back to the ex. Well, you know, the reason that you compare them and you find them not as good as your ex is because you're not spending enough time with them to actually get to know their consciousness. You're just looking at them, and then the novelty of their beautiful look or new look goes away and you know nothing about them. But with the ex, you spend lots of time. You guys interchanged, interacted, supported each other in difficulties. I don't know how long you guys been together with your ex. And so all that negotiation and all that experiences and memories have given you guys a little foundation. And now you're comparing the girl that you have certain kind of a foundation history with a new girl that you have no foundation, no history with, and you're not willing to give it enough time to establish that foundation and that history, to find things in common and then grow on that, like you did with this one. If you hadn't given enough time to this one, the ex, you would still not be that interested in her either, because the love and kindness and the relationship and bonding happens in the consciousness level, but you did have enough time to create that bonding with your ex. With the new ones, you just go out on a couple of dates, and then somehow you, because you're not present with those new girlfriends, so to speak, you're physically there, but your mentality is thinking about your ex while you're interacting with them. So you really never get to know them. You never really pay attention to them. You're not mindful. You're not present with them. So you don't get to see their specialities, their talents, their wonderfulness, their wisdom, their manners, nothing, because you're constantly there just to compare. And you're comparing the one that you have had history and lots kind of memory with, which is like a cheat sheet, and you're comparing with the one who knows nothing about you, doesn't know what you like or don't like, and you don't know anything about her, and you expect her to come ahead. No, you'll always go back to the other one, because the other one is more comfortable, and you have established a certain routine with her, with your ex, which has created a certain order in life, and in that order your mind finds security. But you are not spending enough time with the new girls to establish an order with them, a routine, mechanical process, the things that you do together during the day to create a routine. Through that routine, you create an order, and the order gives the brain a place to have security, psychological security. So you don't have that. You don't establish that with the new ones, but you have the psychological security through the memory and experiences and know-how about each other's consciousness with the ex. So you gravitate toward her again because there's a comfort zone there. So if you give the same chances and experiences with the new girls, you might find the new girls are superior to that one. But you just go for a couple of dates and you compare that activity and that interaction in that short of a time with the long time that you had with this one. And who knows, maybe at the beginning, this one was just like the ex was just like the new ones. But you don't give the new ones that chance of fully focus and trying to invest time and energy to get to know them. So obviously, you'll always think, oh, the other one is better. Why? Because you know everything about her. Whatever you know seems more comfortable. And you don't know anything about them, and you don't give them time to learn from them. So obviously, you keep going back. And when you go back to the ex, the problems that caused you guys to break up still there. That hasn't changed. Your memory, which is a selective, pleasurable memory, is only about the times that you guys were having fun. And those memories come to you, and you compare all those good stuff with some of the flaws that you see in the new opportunities with these new girls. That's not fair. Honestly, that's not fair. So the rest of it, you probably got the gist of it. Yeah, I know. But the question is, if you keep going back to your ex, why did you leave each other? I mean, if you think everything's manageable to the point that you keep going back to her, so what makes you guys not to be together? If you think about the things that makes you guys not want to be together, that's why you guys break up, then you would give a chance to the new ones and see if you can build some kind of foundation with them. But you don't. So you keep going back, but the problem is still there. So just because you leave for a while and then you come back, you think the problem's gone away? That's why you keep doing the same thing. All right. I don't know if you guys heard or not. I have announced that we have a group session now on the site, mindthatseekstruth.com. Mindthatseekstruth.com. And we have a group session in addition to the private one-on-one Skype or Zoom discussions. Now, up to 10 people can be on Skype or on Zoom, and we can all see each other and talk rather than typing. And we need at least 3 people to have the group session confirmed. So once you register and pay for it, then I will monitor to see when we have the 3 people minimum, and then we'll have it. Of course, the timing will not be 1 hour, will be like 2 or 3 hours, depending on how many people show up in the group session. So we'll have enough time for everybody to pose their questions and everybody else enjoy the questions and answers that I give. At the same time, they can ask their own questions. So it's going to be very meaningful sessions and very affordable, because it's less than half the price of the one-on-one consultation. And at the same time, more people can afford it and more people can join. And it's a longer time because we have more people. And depends on how many people we have, the time will increase from 1 hour to a little bit more, or 2 hours or 3 hours. Depends again how many people show up in one session. We already have one participant in the group session. So as soon as we have a bunch more, we'll then have the first group session as a new feature for the site. Now, there are 4 people here. It shows like there are 4 people watching, but there's only 3 people here. So let's see who are the other. There are 5 now. Who are the other 2? Why don't you guys go ahead and introduce yourselves? Just let me know your age, gender, where you're tuning in from. I was just watching the new Top Gun movie, and it was good. It was interesting. I haven't finished it. I'll finish it afterwards. Mohammed is here. Says, hey, Miran, Saudi Arabia. Hello, Mohammed. Good to see you here, dear. I guess this is a good time for a live stream to reach Middle East, and at the same time, Australia, at the same time, Hong Kong, at the same time, Europe, at the same time, India. So it looks like this would be a little bit better than the 1 o'clock that I often use in the afternoon, or 12 o'clock, because in that basis I can get some parts in Europe, but definitely nothing in Middle East, because it's about 11, 12 hours difference, or India. It'll be like in the middle of their nights and they're all sleeping. I'll get Australia and Hong Kong, but that's the extent of it. Some, of course, North America would be there, but I would like to get as many continents as possible we can. So in this hour, especially on weekend nights, we can have the interested parties in North America and South America and Europe and Middle East and Australia and Hong Kong and South Asia. So it all works out if I start at 12 midnight or even 11 p.m. my time. So if you have any questions that we can address it and discuss it together, hopefully it would be short enough so that I can just go through it rather than a long consultation type of questions, because this is live stream. It's not really geared for that kind of a question that I would go in for 20 minutes discussion. That would need an interaction and other questions that I would need to ask, and that would be a suitable kind of a discussion for a one-on-one or a group session. Now it looks like we're climbing. That's good. We've got now 6 people here. So you can fire up your questions. You don't have to wait until all of you hand it in together. You can just come in as you think of them. We've got now 7 people. See, it's going up. And Rita Rose Hubblesworth. Well, that's a nice long name. Rita Rose Hubblesworth says, Happy Holidays, Chicago. Well, Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas and Happy New Year yet to come. I wish you all a wonderful day, relaxing day or night right now. And hopefully 2024 would be a better year than the past 3 years with idiots around the world trying to take over and turn us into slaves by controlling our freedoms and everything else and getting us, shove this thing here and shove that thing here. So hopefully we'll be able to have some decent flow of life as it is meant to be and enjoy our freedom. And we have Rita is 43, female, and with a beautiful rose, and thank you very much. I extend the same rose to you, dear. Let me see if I can find a good one. Come on, come on, come on. I need a rose. I need a rose. And I don't have a rose. All right, then. I'll find a rose. We will go here. I know where to find a rose. And I know I have one right here for, there we go. There we go. There we go. I found, in fact, I found a, oops, what happened here? I found a bouquet. There you are. There we go. And Ravi says, India needs more number of Mehrans. 12 billion people, or 1.2 billion people, at least 500 million with broken hearts. Well, listen, Mehran would be available much longer hours if there would be some kind of a service that I could accommodate everybody. Now, for that reason, I've now added the feature of group session on the site. So everybody who cannot simply find time or finances to have a one-on-one, they can participate in the group session, which is less than half the price. And at the same time, up to 10 people can participate, and it will be interactive on Skype or Zoom. So it's not going to be typing. It's going to be much easier. And I'll be more than happy to have that grow, and it will help the channel, support the channel. Channel makes some money, at the same time help more people with a lesser fee. Of course, you all know that my fees are very nominal. For similar work, there are therapists that you go and it costs you $400, $500 per hour for 45 minutes. Now, as you all know, that the charge here is $100, and it's just a fraction of what is really should be. That's why I guess this channel doesn't make any money, because I love to help people. At the same time, we need to get support by the services that I be put out. So now the group session could help people who couldn't afford the live stream, who couldn't afford the direct one-on-one, to either come to live stream or participate in the group session. So that would be fun. Rita says, I dated a young man, 28. Rita is 43. Ah, more power to you. Egyptian American for about a month. He was extremely insecure and was super love bombing, but I figured I'd go with it. Sort of felt like high school again. It's a wonderful feeling, isn't it? We finally stopped dating because he was bothered by my travel schedule, etc. Now he's 100% non-responsive. So bizarre how one may be so over-involved and then nothing. Makes me think he was full of shit from the beginning, very emotional and cried a lot. He did or you did? I assume he was emotional and he cried a lot, right? All right, it's a very good topic. Let's talk about it. First of all, 28 years old for a 43-year-old lady. So that's very good. That means it's a very confident booster for you, knowing that you've been taking good care of yourself, workouts, gym, and keeping your physical appearance young and to the point that attracts younger men. And you should continue that, because that is something that when we start getting in the middle ages, like you and me, even much higher than your age, we need to be mindful about our lifestyle, externally and internally, physical fitness, diet, proper nutrition, and meditation, and relaxation, and all the other stuff that we need to do to be confident enough to present ourselves to an array of ages. And he might have come across finding himself at a disadvantage, because even though physically you guys obviously were a match in intimacy and whatnot, however, he probably was impressed to the point that he couldn't compete with you, or couldn't measure up with your maturity and wisdom and how you handle life and your independence. A 28-year-old man needs to be with maybe 28-year-old woman, or 32-year-old woman, or 25-year-old woman, because his maturity is to the point that he still feels he needs to show his manhood and dominance as a male, but he cannot do it with a wiser and more mature woman. And he would feel at a disadvantage and would feel that he's not experienced enough to be able to lead, even sometimes. Every man would like to have a leading position, at least most of the time, or sometime, at least to his own expertise of whatever field he has studied or he's capable of being an expert in. But when the age difference and maybe maturity and education is superior in the woman compared to the life that he is, it might be overwhelming for his manhood, like he couldn't impress you. And that itself makes him feel he better just mosey on away. But the other thing is that he was insecure because you are very secure and you're very independent, especially at that age. You've had experiences. I don't know what your journey has been like. Maybe you had children and you have had the experience of raising them, and he hasn't, so he doesn't have that ability to be able to go up and down, or the experiences that he could offer you. Perhaps there was no way to impress you other than maybe physically. And so that wasn't enough for him, because he couldn't feel manly enough, since obviously he couldn't. So what was the other part that I wanted to address? He said he was extremely insecure, super love bomb. Oh, the other thing about the super love bombing that concerns me, because usually narcissists love bomb and then they pull back. He may be doing similar thing. I'm not sure. I don't know him. I don't want to call him a narcissist. But if he love bombs you to attract you and is head over heel in love with you and lust with you, and then pulls back, that's kind of a bribing you to lure you in, get you used to his favors and his attention, and through that move you, have a gravitation towards him, and then he denies you of that love bombing in order to play with your psyche to crave that. Because every time he love bombs you, you get dopamine. And then when he pulls it away after a while, you're used to that dopamine. You don't see it, you feel depressed. In order to get that dopamine again, his attention, you become submissive and you're willing to take on his bad behavior. And usually, if they are real narcissists, I'm not saying he is, I'm just analyzing a certain thing that you said there. It could certainly be a very nice man and just emotional and immature. That goes without saying. I'm just commenting on the part they say a super love bombing and so on. So when you're pulled in and then you're craving that dopamine, so you would put up with his bad treatment of you. Then they become dominant, they become aggressive, they become abusers, and psychologically they work you down until you really have not much really interest, or you have not much motivation to do anything else but to be at their beck and call. So I hope you are wise enough to see that, and that's perhaps a good thing that he's gone away, because love bombing and then nothing, it's not normal. Even if he's not narcissist, which probably not, you would have probably picked up on that, but still it's not a normal behavior, especially at the mature age like yours. You don't need that kind of a bullshit. You need someone who's stable, who's had some experiences, who can appreciate women, who's been with women, who can understand women, or at least try to understand women. And so perhaps that's a good thing that he has left. And he's a cried out. He did. He cried a lot. Okay, well, obviously he's got some issues. Says, yeah, he stated that actually. Oh, okay, good. The fact that he's not able to impress you and be manly. He said he had nothing to offer me to create a home for the future. Debt, autonomy, dollar stuff, okay? And it says, I have no children, but I'm an international artist. Aha. Well, listen, obviously, there is no shortage of interest for you. If you can attract a 28-year-old man, then continue doing what you're doing. I had a similar experience just a short while ago, but it was completely the other way around. The girl actually was quite impressed by me, and she liked me, and she expressed her attention. And so we got into getting to know each other. And then when she told me, do you know how old I am? I said, I don't care, as long as you're not too young, because I thought she might be, I don't know, 50 or 45, and that would be a proper age for acquaintance for me. But unfortunately, she was rather shy to say it, but she eventually spilled it out. She said, are you sure it'll be okay? I said, well, I don't care how old you are. I like you, and that's all right. She was in her early 30s. She was very fit and very, presentable. And then she asked me how old I am. I said, well, I don't know. You seem to be interested to know the age. She said, I think you're like 49, 50, 51. Well, I can't lie. I've never lied to anybody. I'm proud of my age. I said, no, I'm 68. She said, oh, so I said, yeah, So anyhow, she decided that she wants us to continue and get to know each other. But lo and behold, a day later, she changed her mind that she thinks our age difference is too far. And I quickly agreed. I said, I think you're absolutely right. I came to the same conclusion, that we have different needs and different different standards, and we can, as you request, we can still remain friends for sure, but not in a relationship. What else did you want me to say? So it for me, it didn't work out. Although I actually thought she's closer to the age that I thought to begin with, which is, I hope she doesn't hear that, because that's not a compliment really, but she is very fit, that's for sure. All right, I haven't said that. All right, let me have some some tea. So in such cases, what I do is I usually quickly move to other opportunities because it's not good for my ego. So I have other opportunities that unfortunately one of them is even younger than this one. I'm hesitant. And my friend was telling me, "Are you crazy? Why don't you lie?" I said, "I can't lie." He said, "If you said 51, you should have said, yeah, well, good for you." I said, "I can't do that." So anyhow, but just got myself busy with a few other interesting and kind ladies that we interact, and so I have a laugh by myself sometimes. So of course, in such situations, you can gather that the person, in fact, who interacts or decides in this way that I just explained, is not having certain kind of reservations or inability to be in control of his decisions and his likes and his feelings, because when they like you, they are themselves. Their awareness is making a choice by the way you look, your way you behave, and interact with them. They like that, and that's them. But then their image takes over, which is reflecting the content of their consciousness based on the conditionings they've received in the society, rules, customs, and traditions, and what their parents may expect, what age group they should or they should not interact with. And so all of that means that their image is now taking over, making a decision, overriding their awareness's decision, which was liking certain guy, certain person, based on what they see and the fitness level and interactions and mentality and so on. So those people actually, it's blessing to hear it this way, because then you would see that it is not a reliable choice, because obviously they would have different oscillations. You can't count on their choices. So that's how it worked out for me, as far as I'm concerned. And Rita says, exactly, they always think I'm younger. I think they're older, and boom, easily a 15, 20-year-old spread. I don't like to lie either. Not to mention the cultural differences. I'm not Muslim. Yeah, well, I don't believe in running my life by a religion. So I believe in the universal energy, and that is what's universal, in my opinion. Religions are very good. All of them are good, especially for childhood, when children don't have certain wisdom to have certain answers to a certain questions they might be having. So religion keeps them on a straight line and helps them to be secure and helps them to feel psychological security, and relying on certain higher power to continue their journey until they grow up and they realize if they still need that support or not, and they can decide to stay religious or not. I never was religious, but I believed in God, and I believed in the religion that I grew up with. At the time, it was very important for me until I grew up, and then I gravitated toward the universal energy and the cosmos and the whole being a good person and all that, righteousness, by choice, not by certain rule of certain things. So there's nothing wrong with religion. I think it's very good, but as long as it's not overused or fanatically involved in. So that's how I think. And says, but I did tell him that Khadija was 15 year older than Muhammad, peace be upon him. Rita Rose says, so why not? Yeah, definitely. I have no problem. I personally had an experience when I was 58 years old. I had a very young girlfriend that she actually picked me up. She was in her mid 20s, 26, 27. And it was great. It was very good in everything, but I had to make the decision that I had to sever the relationship, because I believe men have to protect women and children, but they should also be able to protect a woman even from their own desire. So that relationship for me was honey. Uh, you know, uh, Intimacy was great, and we were very compatible. And however, I proposed to her that there are things she might want to experience in life that I already have, and she has the right to experience them. I've gone to God knows how many discotheques, and she may not have, and she may still want to have some more. And I'm not interested in many superficial stuff, but maybe at one time I was. And I said, I've had, I've been married and have my offspring, and I enjoyed that love and that attachment and closeness and the experience. And you should have the same. But I don't want to have another child. I don't want to be a daddy anymore. So I encouraged her to separate from me. Of course, that was not to her liking, and she was very emotional, and she didn't want this to happen. But I had to make the decision that was best for her, not just for me. So this would be a responsibility of a man who's older and happens to have a younger girlfriend, not to use the situation for his own pleasure, but to think what is, in his opinion, the best thing for that young lady. And even though it could be not so palatable for the young lady, or not, acceptable, but sometimes you got to make the hard decision. And lo and behold, it was the right decision, because later on, she got married, I heard, years later, and had a child. And so now I feel that even though it was not a easy decision, but it was the right decision. So in your case, well, you're the leader on that relationship, and you did good. So if you're fit and you enjoy your certain activities that most women at age 50, 45, they're not taking good care of themselves, and they don't want to enjoy sports and activities, and their intimacy appetite is not perhaps healthy or how it should be. Well, if you take care of yourself, you continue taking care of yourselves and have a little better quality of life. Why not? Why not? So, what else do we have here? I guess everybody is just listening and not really doing anything. So, Rita, you didn't say what's your background is, because obviously you say you are from where? Where was it? Oh, Chicago. But what is your actual background that you know about? Obviously, you know about Islam. So I wonder if you were born in United States in Chicago, or you are immigrant like me. Native of New York City. Oh, really? So you're not familiar with the actual Middle Eastern religions, or you just happen to know about it, or you are of descent or the background that you have had that religion introduced to you before. Says, when we began dating, I began to research to better understand. Oh, that's very wise, and that's very admirable. Oh, very good. Very good. You invested in that. It's too bad that the guy couldn't appreciate that. and say, I travel a lot though. Well, everybody has a job and they have to travel and make money. So if he couldn't understand that, well, then I wouldn't be the right. And at one point in time, look, I have to say, like, it may sound not politically correct, but I don't really give a damn. This is the way men are. And it's my thinking. Usually, women would prefer a man who's older than them so they can rely on certain things and level of responsibility. At the same time, it makes them feel better when the man is a little older than them. Now, in your case, since you're fit and obviously you're able to interact with the younger men, you might need to find a older man than yourself, but a fit man who is into sports and who can catch up and keep up with you. But going for that kind of a age difference, it will always, most always, with some exceptions, fall apart. The man is still looking to be a man, cannot really feel manly when the woman is more successful and wiser, more mature, more subtle, more settled, more everything, and still beautiful and fit. Because he can't really impress her in certain ways that he knows how at his age. So, and the risk of it is that 10 years later, he's 38 and you're going to be what? 53. Still, depending on your lifestyle, it might all be fine. But then again, when he's 43 or 48, he's still at the top of his age, you'd be 63. Then that's not the age that you want a breakup to happen. And then he goes and finds himself a younger woman, and you are left with holding the bag because now you got to find someone who you could have and establish memories with through activities, through being active, sport activities, and so on, and travel. And at that age, it's a little bit more challenging to create that history. So my suggestion to you is that while you're interested in a younger man with more energy, find someone who is older but still is fit and has the kind of energy that you're accustomed to. So in that way, at least if you guys hit it off, the relationship could last and build a good foundation before you guys get on your later years, older age. And says, I travel a lot though. I genuinely thought he was mid-30s low. Yeah, I see. Okay, fair enough. I made the reverse mistake. I genuinely thought pretty much the same. I overshot that by 20 years. I thought she's 51. Hope to God she's not hearing this. But anyhow, I genuinely thought he was in mid-30s low. But I'm not into older dudes because I don't want the baggage, kids, divorce. Yeah, well, I tell you a story that answers your question. You don't want baggage, kids, divorce, and all that, right? There was old time in Japan. There were villagers, farmers, that every season the bandits would come in and take their chicken away, their women away, their corn and crops away, and they would leave them hungry and poor. So eventually, after a few years, they got tired and said, "We got to do something." One of them says, "Well, we're not fighters, we're farmers." They said, "Okay, let's go and ask the question from the wise of the village, the old man who lives just outside of the village." So they went to the old man in Japan and they said, "What do we do?" They said, "Go town to town and hire samurais." They said, "What do you mean, samurais? What do we give them? We don't have no money." They said, "Give them rice. You have rice that you cultivate. Give them rice for payment." So three of them got together and went to town and in old Japan. And every samurai that they happened to find, they offered them for the job rice, and they got beaten up. It was disrespectful. So they came back to the old man and said, listen, what the hell did you do all torn up? He said, what did you do? We found samurais, and every time we told them this is the problem, he said, okay, and this is the way we said we give you rice, they beat us up. He said, go find hungry samurai. Now, you can still stick with your expectations, your standards, and the qualifications that you need. No baggage, no kids, no divorce, or the energy and so on. But then you got to find the ones that are there, that they don't have the baggage, they don't have the kids, and they're not divorced, or they have no problem with that. Most men at your age or a little bit older than you probably have been divorced, and that's okay, because if they don't have kids, small kids, that's so. If they have big kids, older kids, mature kids, adult kids, who cares? They have their own lives. So, and the baggage, you make sure they don't have baggage. So you can have your cake and eat it too. You can have your standards met by having someone sportish, energetic, and keep up with you, but at the same time not having these things. So you just modify your search a little bit better. That's pretty much what I have to say about that. It says, but to date, older for fear. What's the point? Older for fear. I don't get that one. Anyhow, my point is that there are still people who would fit your criteria, and they don't have the things that you don't want them to have. So don't think, because the very young men won't be able to satisfy you in their way of interacting with the world, being ready to take on some challenges that shows up that they don't know anything about. And they're at the age that they just want to be footloose and fancy free, and they don't want to be involved in some major challenges that they might get into in a real relationship. So it has its good points and bad points. So might as well you just have a combination. So, have a young man somewhere and then have an older man. Just keep him on on the back burner. Who knows? Maybe I should learn my own advice and start lying. Just can't happen. All right. And Rita says you spoke about age difference and gravity as the years passes. Gravity, where the old woman would get left holding the bag. Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't get it, but I don't get it, but I think it's funny. I think you want it to be funny, and I think I'm laughing anyhow. And so, age difference and gravity as the years progressed. Now, let me, guys, now we're talking about gravity and old woman and all that. Okay. What about if I tell you guys a joke? This guy was out shopping or doing something in the city, and accidentally meets one of his oldest buddies that hadn't seen for maybe 30, 40 years, maybe high school time or something. And they were very excited to find each other in the street. And the old man invited him to come to his home and meet his wife and have some coffee and tea. So they came home, and he says, oh, my friend is here. I haven't seen him for 40 years. And so why don't we have some refreshment and stuff like that? So his wife also, they're both in their, I don't know, mid 80s or close to 90 or whatever it was. So they come and sit down to have some tea, and the man, the host, says, "Honey, can I have that sugar, please?" from the other side of the table. So his wife hands him the sugar, and then he says, "Muffin, could you kindly give me that bit of a cake you have over there?" So his wife gives him a bit of a cake, and then the wife got up to go to the kitchen for some reason. And while she was away, the friend says to his host, says, "This is so lovely that you guys, even at this age, still call each other by nicknames, honey, muffin." And the guy says, "Well, it's not that. It's just that I forgot her name 10 years ago." So there we go. Very affectionate. I think I'm laughing more than anybody else of my jokes. All right. So Rita, is this your first time here at our store? Is it your first time client? Guys, I repeat, don't forget that we have a new feature on the site, Mind That Seeks Truth.com. And the new feature is that in addition to the one-on-one consultation, we have a group session now that it's half the fee that you guys were paying for the one-on-one, and it's up to 10 people on Zoom or Skype, so we can see each other and talk rather than typing. And of course, we need a minimum of 3 people to participate before we can confirm it. So once you make a registration, it comes to me, then I'll contact you for the exact time and date. So we'll hash it out, see what works for everybody, and we'll arrange it that way. Rita says, yeah, Rita Rose. Yeah, I remember your name actually. And even Hubbleworth, I remember that as well, I guess. It says, I first found you in 2020 during COVID quarantine. Oh, I see. Okay. It says, you helped me dramatically getting over a breakup back then. Ah, excellent, excellent. Wunderbar, wunderbar. All right. So it looks like out of all people, nobody is making a sound. Nobody says anything. I wonder what happened. Muhammad says, non-relationship question. What could you tell my generation, mid-20s, about developing a better work ethics, discipline? Do things that you want to do and think about them, like remember something you want to do right away, right then and then. Don't procrastinate it. Just do what you think should be done as soon as you can. Don't let it catch up. And what I really would want to leave behind from all these things is that live your life in such a way that you will enjoy it 2 times. One is when you make a decision to do something in regards to an action or reaction, you make a decision. So do your best to make the right decision. And one is when you remember how you reacted in that certain circumstance and challenge. So you'll be proud of it 2 times. One, you do your best when you make an action, commit to an action, make a decision to remedy a situation or handle something. And second it would be in such a way that when you remembered, you will enjoy it for the second time. So, meaning just do your best, make your best judgment at all times, and don't be hasty. And try your best. That's all you can do. That's pretty much what I have to say about that. And Stephen is here. Says, hi, Mehran, male 43, Los Angeles. Thank you for that. I was just about to respond to your question that there was something I wanted to tell you on the recording when you sent me your question and I recorded it back. And I said, there's a story, but that story was actually what I just said to Rita. So you can, if you listen to it, you will know. And it was about the age that you had said, that time or age or something. And so I gave you that story. No. The story was about my personal experience just a short while ago, a week ago or so. And that was funny. I wanted to share with you so you'll know how things work out at this side of the fence. But I've already said it. But in the recording, I thought, well, it was already, I think I spoke for a long time and I just wanted to not switch the topic and keep you focused on what I had said. Says, what was the story that you mentioned from your last email? It sounded like you were going to share on your live chat last night, but I didn't get. Yeah, I shared it tonight. I think I shared some of it yesterday as well. So I think it's, it was kind of first time I was faced with that kind of a interesting situation. And so, all right. I guess tonight we have given it enough time, and we have not had the number that we had last night, or was it today? 20 people we had, which is quite of a step up. In the past, we had like 35, 40 people in our live streams. But somehow, I guess I'm not winning the favor of YouTube. And somehow, perhaps we're outspoken. We are not circulated anymore. And we are not being given exposure. And that's pity. But this is the way it is. And this is how this channel will be. So I've started a couple of channels on Instagram and on TikTok. And TikTok is almost about 900 followers within a couple of weeks. And so I'm putting more short videos. And Stephen, I made a video tonight, which I have uploaded it on YouTube. It will be published tomorrow morning, which I think you would enjoy, that in regards to reminiscing and moving on. And I think it's a brilliant video, if I may say so, and I'm unanimous on that. So sometimes I come up with something. So I hope that it will help you all who are having a challenge to move on and constantly reminiscing. And then you will get to know why you're doing that. And then you'd be able to be in a better position to counter it and not do that. So that video, I just finished also trimming it for TikTok, which hopefully I'll upload tonight, and my Instagram. And I put my TikTok, Truth Seeking Mind, and my Instagram, Mind Seeks. That you can find these shorts and some longer videos, because you can go up to 10 minutes on Instagram and TikTok. And hopefully I'll have enough interest in these two other mediums to invite people to come to YouTube and bring their attention to YouTube contents. We have 3,000 videos, and hopefully we'll be able to eventually get somewhere that the channel could generate more people, viewers, and then from the advertisements that YouTube puts on it, we'll end up getting some financial support coming through it, and then we could spend more time and grow that way. So, guys, It's about 1 hour and 15 minutes. I've got some of the stuff that I got to still edit and upload. And I think we've had enough time and not enough people right now. I think the 5 have already asked their questions. So it's time for me to say I love you all. Thank you very much for being here and giving the opportunity to share a thing or two with you. I look forward to our next live stream, which could be tomorrow, I don't know, 11 or 12 noon, I'm not sure. And also tomorrow night, hopefully, or maybe not, depending on how I feel like it. But I try to increase the live streams and see how it can help the channel. So in the meantime, you guys, please do make an effort to promote this channel and the topics that we talk about, and so we can reach more people and help more people. In the meantime, be good to yourself and to the others. I'll talk to you soon. Bye for now. Subscribe on my channel, visit my channel, and go through the videos that you might be interested in. Mind@seekstruth.com is making it one step away to talk to me one-on-one on Skype and discuss what's concerning you. I'll talk to you soon.